Hi.
Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a video that I have been wanting to do for so long. I feel like I've been talking on and off about how I want to incorporate more movies onto this channel. I love the film industry and like movie magic and just like fashion within the movie industry. I mean, hello, I'm literally sitting in a director's chair right now. Like, I just love movies in general, so I really wanted to bring that a little bit more onto this channel. So for today's video, I thought that I would share some of my favorite movies when it comes to fashion inspiration. And I know there's probably going to be movies that I missed, so if I did miss your favorite movie, let me know in the comments below. Maybe I haven't seen it, or maybe I just completely missed it when making this video. But either way, we can keep adding movies to the description box, or not description box, to the comments below. I have a little list here on my little piece of paper. Actually, I have a few pieces of paper of lists of movies that I want to talk about. But before I get started, I did want to credit Katie from Steal the Spotlight, because I had a really hard time formatting this video. The way that I had originally laid it out, it was like really long and dragged out, and I really wanted to condense things a little bit more so that it's easier for you guys to follow along. I did change the categories and obviously the movies that I'm mentioning, but at the format of it, I did want to credit her because this was from her video that she posted. So again, I'm going to be linking it down in the description box in case you are interested. And with that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and get started. So the very first category that I have is classic movies. So these are movies that were made before like the 1970s, or modern movies that have reached like a classic status. You guys will know what I'm talking about when I go through the list. Starting with one of the most iconic fashion films and one of my personal favorites, Funny Face. You could actually argue that most Audrey Hepburn films in general are incredible when it comes to fashion inspiration. It's kind of cliche to have her at the very top of this list, but let's be honest, she looks incredible in every single outfit that they put her on. I mean, she was a muse for Givenchy after all. They did work alongside each other for numerous films such as Funny Face, Sabrina, Breakfast at Tiffany's, How to Steal a Million, and In Paris When It Sizzles. Along the same lines, Grace Kelly movies are spectacular for elegant fashion. Movies such as The Rear Window, High Society are two of my favorites. Okay, stepping away from the more like fashion cliche movies, and the next one is going to be Where the Boys Are. And this movie gives me so much summer inspiration. I love the pastel color palette, and I particularly like the scene where the girls are getting ready to go out on dates and they're wearing their petticoats, applying their makeup, and just waiting to get picked up. I don't know. I just think it's such a cute scene that makes me nostalgic for a time where I was never even born. If you have a more casual style, Barefoot in the Park is always a great film to watch. Jane Fonda looks incredible as a newlywed in her early 20s and just captures a more realistic, everyday style in the mid-1960s. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Gene Tierney in Leave Her to Heaven has a more dressed up version of a newlywed, well, for today's standards anyway. This movie is from the 1940s, so people did dress up a little bit more back then versus now, or even in the 1960s, but her outfits are killer nonetheless, and yes, that pun was intended. If you're looking for something more collegiate, look no further than Love Story. I love this movie. It is everything fall, Ivy prep fashion. I watch it every single first day of fall just to get me ready for the season. Something that I love about this movie is that you see them rewear pieces throughout the movie, which I actually find really interesting because you don't really see that very much in movies or TV shows. So just a little detail to look out for when you're watching it. Another great classic is Rebel Without a Cause. Not a huge variety in terms of outfits, but Natalie Wood finds a way to make 1950s fashion look really cool. My favorite outfit has to be that light blue skirt that she wears at the car race. Honestly, that skirt is just like an absolute dream for me. I want it so bad. Finishing up this category with some movies that are a little bit less wearable and go back a little further back in time. And one of the movies is Titanic. Of course, Rose is an absolute icon when it comes to fashion and style, as well as Vivian Lee's wardrobe in Gone with the Wind. Finally, if you want a more 1900s, turn of the century, dreamy kind of wardrobe, look no further than Room with a View. It is an amazing movie for that particular aesthetic, as well as Picnic at Hanging Rock. However, Picnic at Hanging Rock is a very confusing movie. Not sure how many of you guys will actually enjoy the movie in itself, but maybe watch the first half so you guys can see like the fashion in it. Next category is going to be musicals. I love musicals. I think they're so much fun, and they typically have a very extensive wardrobe due to all the like musical numbers. So they do usually have a lot of really fun fashion moments. I'm going to be starting out with one of my favorite movies of all time and just musicals in general, which is Grease. And Grease is one of those movies that makes me want to go shopping every single time that I watch it because I get so much fashion inspiration from it. However, I do want to say that I get really annoyed whenever anybody references Grease in terms of fashion because people tend to fixate on that final outfit with the black leather. And to be honest, the outfits that she wears throughout the entire movie are far superior than that final outfit. And I said what I said. I know it's controversial, but this is how I feel. And I think the outfits throughout the movie are so much cuter and no one really talks about them, which is really sad. But I love the circle skirts and the delicate blouses, and it's actually something that I'm going to be circling back to when I talk about spring fashion in a couple of weeks. So make sure you guys tune in for that. Grease 2 has some really fun fashion moments as well. While the movie's not as good as the first one, I'm not ashamed to say that the songs are actually pretty catchy. Another iconic musical is of course The Sound of Music. While it's set in 1938-39, the start of World War II-ish, I can definitely see the 1960s influence in all the outfits just because it was released in the 1960s. But either way, I do love all the outfits and I would wear every single outfit that the girls are wearing throughout the entire movie. Not sure how popular of a choice this is, but Hairspray actually has some amazing fashion moments. As much as Brittany Snow's character sucks, her pastel dresses are so dreamy, as well as the outfits that Tracy and Penny wear. I have wanted a horizontal backpack since I saw that movie in theaters when it came out, and I have yet to find one. Across the Universe has beautiful 1960s fashion as well, mostly through Evan Rachel Wood's character. Just the way that Jude looks at her while singing I've Just Seen a Face when they're at the bowling alley may be the reason why I started wearing those wool plaid skirts. Maybe. Can't confirm or deny, but maybe. Singing in the Rain is also an incredible movie, not only for fashion, but also just music and cinematography and just everything is incredible. So if you haven't seen Singing in the Rain, highly recommend. If you don't mind reading subtitles, make sure you guys check out The Umbrellas of Cherbourg. It's top tier 1960s pastel dream in a movie. From the fashion to the hair to the sets, it is just absolutely beautiful. And if you like that movie, make sure you also check out The Young Girls of Rochefort, which has a very similar style. The next category that I have are timepieces, and it goes without saying that these are movies that are set in the past. I can't attest for all these to be 100% historically accurate, but either way, I love the movies, so. Starting with The Notebook, Ali's 1940s style is absolutely everything. It's youthful and feminine and elegant all at the same time, the perfect wardrobe for a summer vacation. Brooklyn is also severely underrated. I never hear people talk about it, but Eilish is some of the most beautiful, realistic 1950s style, especially in terms of knitwear. Again, this is one of those movies that makes me want to go shopping for a new wardrobe. Taking a little detour to the 1920s, of course, The Great Gatsby, Daisy has some amazing fashion moments, as well as Midnight in Paris serves some really amazing 1920s style inspiration, and it's also just really fun if you're into the arts or literature. If you're looking for something a little bit more biographical, Coco Avant Chanel is a really great film about Gabrielle Chanel. I watched it in French, however, there's probably like a dubbed English version out there somewhere if you don't want to read subtitles, so just kind of like dig around for it. On a more serious note, Changeling is an amazing movie based on a real story, and it has some beautiful clothing via Angelina Jolie's character. The Testament of Youth is also a great movie based on the life of Vera Brittain. The movie takes place between 1900 and 1925 and really captures the dainty, feminine style of the early 1900s, especially in the first half of the movie. If you haven't seen Atonement, then you don't know how iconic Keira Knightley's green dress is, and to be honest, it's worth watching just for that dress in itself. It was also nominated for numerous awards, so highly recommend if you haven't seen it. Another underrated movie is the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society, which is a mouthful to say, but it does have really amazing clothes. Lily James looks incredible in whatever decade they put her on. There are countless movies from the turn of the century, but one that really stands out for me is Somewhere in Time. I mean, it has love and clothes and time travel. I mean, what more could you want? Taking the list into a different direction, but Marie Antoinette is perfection in a movie. I want every single dress featured throughout the movie, as well as a boudoir in Versailles. Finishing off this category with Down with Love, it's definitely a more lighthearted movie, but the outfits are 1960s perfection, especially that pink plaid matching set with that huge oversized white hat that Renee Zellweger wears. It is just amazing. The next category is kind of random, and it's probably the shortest category that I have in this list, and it is family and children movies. You can find inspiration inspiration in the most randomest of places, and I think children's movies are probably one of those places that you don't think you're going to find fashion inspiration, but there usually is some form of amazing fashion, especially if they are set in a different time period. And it's no secret that A Little Princess and The Secret Garden are huge inspirations for me. I've talked about them numerous times on my channel, and I just think they have the most beautiful style. Both movies are from the same author, and I just love the way that they styled the outfits, and it always gives me so much inspiration. One of our favorite movies growing up was The Parent Trap, and in particular, one outfit that really stands out for me is the outfit that Hallie wears when she arrives in London. And go back, watch the movie, and tell me that that is not an outfit that I would totally wear, right down to the matching headband. The next movie is the only Christmas movie, but Miracle on 34th Street has amazing style, both the 1947 and the 1994 version, but I'm mostly going to be talking about the one from 1994. And I know she's a child, but Susan has some of the most amazing outfits throughout the entire movie, and I would wear every single one of them. Flipped is another great movie for late 1950s fashion, and it's just a really cute movie in general, so if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. And the last category for this video is going to be modern movies, and for me, modern means 1990 and above. That's what I would consider current, so this is what's going to make up this category. The first movie in this category might be a bit of an obvious choice, but I can't not mention it, and it is Clueless. Clueless is undeniably one of the most iconic, influential movies to come out in recent times, especially in terms of fashion. Every single outfit that Cher wears is iconic, from her yellow plaid matching set to the red plaid outfit, which is honestly one of my personal favorites. Everything in the movie is just perfection. Another movie with great style is Wild Things. Denise Richards looks amazing in all the outfits she wears throughout the entire movie, and while the movie might have numerous twists and turns, the fashion is always consistent. In a similar tone as the previous movie, Cruel Intentions serves some incredible preppy New York style, from the seductive looks through Sarah Michelle Gellar to a more good girl looks through Reese Witherspoon. Before I mention the next movie, I just want to make sure that it comes across and that you guys are very aware that I don't condone this movie, nor am I trying to support the movie or the message that it stands behind. It is so not what I'm trying to say. I'm mostly just talking about the fashion, so maybe go on Pinterest and look at photos instead of actually supporting the movie. Most of you guys probably already guessed the movie is Lolita, and I think we can all agree that the fashion is beautiful. There's so many amazing prints and silhouettes. It's just really unfortunate that the clothes are featured in such a questionable movie and are linked to such a questionable message. So like I said, if you do want to look at the fashion and the style in the movie, look at it on Pinterest. Last but not least is going to be Pretty Woman, and I mean, Julia Roberts just knows how to wear clothes. Her style throughout the movie is enviable, from the iconic white dress while shopping on Rodeo Drive to the polka dot dress that she wears at the polo match, among many others in between. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up this video. These are all the movies I'm going to be talking about today. Like I said, if I missed any of your favorite movies or you have any recommendations, let me know in the comments below, because there's probably so many more movies that I didn't talk about, as well as my to watch list is a never-ending list of movies that I want to watch. So if you guys want to see a part 2, let me know in the comments below, and I can do one in a few months once I get through some more movies. That's pretty much it. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe, as well as turn on your post notifications so that you don't miss out on any new videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!